Hey, everybody. And by everybody, I mean the people who have not yet come into the room. It's our weekly Comic Industry Insiders Live, where we get together and bring you all the biggest updates inside of comics, and we do some commentary, and basically we try and bring people who know what they're talking about to talk about our comics industry. This, however, is what we call pre-show banter, which is we have to be bantering, guys. So yeah, I need you to bring your best banter. This is basically our opportunity for everybody to file into the room and make sure all the tech works, and give us an opportunity to kind of shake off that New York Comic Con doldrums. So I'm going to go around the room and everybody's going to say hi, because eventually this will become an audio file and we all need to know your names. So clockwise from me, the star of the show at New York Comic Con, everybody kept asking me about, and the absolute superstar of Prana, we have Megan Marsden. Say hi, Megan.
Hi, that's so nice to hear.
It really was. It was every time I turned around, someone said, "Oh, Megan's doing such a good job," or who's that handled getting this meeting together?
My Venmo is.
Yes, we work with somebody who doesn't have any social media accounts, but he will give you his Venmo account if you ask. So, and then clockwise from there, we have the man, the myth, the cowboy, the editor of both TFI and Comics the Magazine, which we announced last week, Mr. Joe Keating.
So nice to have that magazine announced, man. Let me tell you, that been sitting on that one for a minute. So
for real, absolutely. Although I was told that I mentioned it in one or two podcasts and totally forgot about it.
He definitely waved it around at you had left already, Joe, but like at the end of my show, Adam like pulled it out and was waving it around. I was like, I wanted to clip it. But then I was like, they'll get mad at me if I post a clip the next day.
Well, now you can. Now you can clip it and say that's where you came in. That voice you just heard was Blake Morgan, also known as Blake's Buzz, also known as the head of content and community for Prana.
What's up?
And that leaves us with Mr. Kyle, the producer, who's coming at us loud and clear from Baltimore, where you're getting ready for Baltimore Comic Con.
As long as I sound clear, what's up here is not. But yes, no, I'm here for Baltimore Comic Con, ready to go. Already chilling with a bunch of artist friends. So
awesome.
Ready for the show.
And filling out our 3 bald guy minimum on any show, my co-host, Mr. Brian Garside. Hey, buddy.
It's me. Hey, I'm in a little bit of a turkey coma, but we'll get through this. We'll get through this together.
That's right. I always forget that you Canadians forgot where to put Thanksgiving on the calendar. It just shows up randomly for me, right?
Well, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, we can say that. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know, but when you have Thanksgiving, like the harvest has been hauled in 2 months before. Now your Thanksgiving is probably about Jesus and guns because that's how y'all roll. But like up here, it's about celebrating the end of the harvest. So we do it when the things come in. We're just crazy that way.
As opposed to living in the great Arctic North, we're still harvesting during this time of year.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, you guys can harvest until especially with global warming, you just harvest 24/7.
And you can buy guns year round.
That's true.
Yeah, that's great.
It doesn't have to be a holiday.
We're going to talk a lot about New York Comic Con this week, but there wasn't a big event, at least on our calendar, that Joe, you just got back from. Tell us about what happened in Deadwood, South Dakota this week.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, speaking of cowboys, I hung out with 800 hackers in Deadwood, South Dakota, which, if you haven't been, looks like Deadwood, South Dakota. Like, it has not changed all that much, and it rules. It was an event put on with the publishers of The Future Is, owned by a company called Black Hills Information Security, and that's their event. Yeah, man, had a blast. Hung out with a bunch of people really excited about comics. We had a meet and greet that was triple the size, at least, maybe quadruple the size of the one we did last year with writer Fred Van Lente. And we did a special edition of the comic, a whole new story that was drawn by Juan Gideon from Venom and at Marvel, obviously, and then Jurassic League at DC. And so he was there, and I got to see him get exposed to the hacker community for the first time. That was awesome. And then we did a killer signing. Our cover for that special edition was by Paul Pope. and we also had a couple of Paul Pope skate decks that sold out instantly. And yeah, man, it's a cool confluence of people, hackers, and then and comic books, and then seeing how much the two work together, like peanut butter and chocolate, was pretty awesome.
There were some people on LinkedIn because Jason's been sharing everything, and a couple people posted. They were like, not really, wasn't really into comics. This looked cool. I don't skateboard either, but they're like leaving with skate decks and comic books. And I thought that was awesome. I was like, whoa, like, because that's a big sell. Like, that's not like a $20 thing.
No, it was 3 figures, my friend. And let me tell you, it was cool. I had a couple moments. One guy I met, Manny, worked at Golden Apple back in the day, in the 80s and 90s. So I was picking his brain about working with Bill and all that. Another guy came up to us and said that we got him back in the comics after a long absence. So that was pretty sweet. Like, yeah, believe it or not, people who are really great at computers love comic books. So
yeah, the Venn diagram of nerds. Like,
yeah,
they
had a Magic the Gathering tournament that was pretty sweet, so that was pretty fun.
Oh, right on.
I also got a new lockpick set, and in between the pre-show banner and the pre-show banner, I picked this lock, so that was pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
So you're actually picking locks now, is that right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm all in, man. I'm picking locks. They have a cyber range. I'm all on that. Like, yeah, man, it rules,
dude.
Joe gets his own hotel rooms now, by any means necessary. Like, you don't have to book him; he'll find a way in. That's awesome.
Dude, that's a supply closet. That's not a room.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's a fun community, and they really, they're really into things that think outside the box, and like I was talking to a lot of them about the confluence of creative problem solving in both mediums. You know what I mean? Like, and they have an adage of breaking things to make them stronger, which I feel like Prana does a lot. So
we do like to find the holes that will allow us to break it to make it stronger. I think is something that we really do work on. Like, look for the weaknesses in the market that we can use to help our clients, but then also find ways to bring others along with us in those places, right? Yeah, that's incredible. I love how much you have embraced that community. You and I went together for the first time last year, and I was super jealous to have to miss it this time around, man. Yeah, if nothing else, guys, I'm not kidding. Every restaurant there has the most amazing buffalo steaks you've ever had in your life. It's incredible. Anyway, I was so floored. And Megan, you had a big New York Comic Con week, yeah?
Yeah, I got to help you at Retailer Day. So big thank you to Comics Pro and Read Pop for putting that together. It's even bigger than it was last year, and just seeing so many people in the room excited about comics and positive about comics, and meeting publishers and stuff they might not have met otherwise. So it was really great seeing everybody just happy in our room.
It was actually, yeah.
For a Comic Con, there was nobody complaining. And then the floor was, you guys are gonna talk about later, but the floor was so heavy with publishers, and Artist Alley was packed, and
the Artist Alley is just, it has become the one of the biggest draws of that show. And that show is legitimately like 200,000 people at this point.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Their Artist Alley is the size of most cons. It's unbelievable. Like, it's an entire floor of just humans shoulder to shoulder. It's wild.
And there's still a waiting list for Artist Alley.
Insane.
Well, and I don't have any problem believing it, because it is legit. Yeah, every day I went down there, I kept thinking I was going to go down and promote the magazine and get some pictures of people and that sort of thing. You couldn't walk.
No. Yeah,
it was crazy. It was crazy.
If I got $1 for every DM I got, like on my personal messages about where to get comics and magazine this weekend, and I was I'm in Kansas City. Yeah. I would have been. I could have got like a pizza. Like, it wasn't, but I still like a signal. Like, I was like, okay, like I don't know what they're doing. It was a retailer day, but it was. I thought it was like, 5, 10, 20. Like, it was cool. We got a couple on the other socials too. Like, hey, where? And I was like, find him. I don't know where he is.
Well, we're gonna have them available at Baltimore this weekend. We'll be getting to more of that in the show, and then after that, we should find a way to get them to people who want them. We'll work out something.
Yeah,
they're going to be more of these in the market. There's about 2,000 of them total, and we want to make sure that everybody who gets one can have one. Everybody who wants one can have one, because we are really excited about this and want people along for the ride. Yeah,
I was even handing them out at the Hackin Fest because people there were they were talking about comics and they were like, "What else could I read?" And so I was just like, "Well, here you go. That's my goal with it." Yeah, it was like, I'm interested in comics. How can I either make them or read them? And I was like, "That's here you go."
Well, it's interesting. Last week was like a week off for me. I didn't do a ton of work, but I had more conversations about Comics the magazine.
Yeah.
Than I did about other comics, like other stuff.
That's
like
awesome.
It was really weird. I'm like, guys, I just sometimes show up on the show where they talked about it. I have nothing to do with this. I'm just excited for it. Like,
it was sought after. Like people were hunting them down.
Yeah.
BJ, if you're watching, I have one for you.
BJ was totally looking for.
Hey, there's a good suggestion in the chat actually. Live chat raffle.
I'll tell you what. Yes, at the end of this show, we're gonna send one to somebody in the chat. Hey, do you still have that capability, Kyle, where you can do the spinning wheel? Let's do that at the end of the show. Let's give it out.
I love it.
That's a great idea.
What's our hashtag?
CTM. Make it easy.
CTM. How about that? Hashtag
All right.
CTM.
You got it.
But yeah, I thought that was cool. And our the Instagram. I mean, the Instagram is we're coming up on 200 followers in like a couple days. Like, so I mean,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, like, and we haven't done. Like, everybody was at the con all, so I didn't. Anyway, like, no one had time to like do really social media stuff. But yeah, people keep following the account. Everybody seems really excited about it. The people who do have the issues were. It'd be cool if more of you took pictures of them and posted them online that got them. That'd be pretty cool.
I know. I am the worst at that. I am absolutely
not just
the worst.
you, but you handed out. You handed out a lot.
Yeah. There's some good ones out there. I was just looking at. We have a picture of Dirk Manning later on in the podcast or in the broadcast, and he made sure to get me posed with it, and a couple other people had to pose with it. You actually used a picture of me signing it. I wish I could remember who it was that asked for the first signed copy. Do you know that, Megan?
It was Dirk.
Yeah. So there you go. He got the first signed copy of Comics the magazine. Well, at least with my signature. Joe still hasn't, and Rico still hasn't that I know of.
Well, and Rico's tabling next week.
Is he giving them away?
Yeah. Is Rico going to be at Baltimore?
No.
So. Oh, I thought he was.
He just did Galaxy Con.
Yeah. So maybe.
That's a shame. All right. Well, here we go. Hashtag CTM. Make sure that you are doing it. We are about to go live and do our regular program. So make sure we come back in for that. All right. Thanks, crew. I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to see most of you, I guess, except for the Canadian and the guy in the hat. That's you, Blake. Next week, we're going to be in Baltimore. It's coming up.
That's this week, dude. That's in 2 days.
Damn it.
Yeah, right. It's definitely this week.
I'm so tired.
It's just begun.
2 days for loading, dude. 2 days.
I'm going to get at least one good night's sleep this week. All right.
No.
When do we light this? Does anybody want to tell me?
Almost. Now.
All right.
All right, we're lighting it now.
Okay, great.
Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, everybody. I don't know what I was doing with my ears there. I'm not sure. My name is Adam Freeman. This is Comic Industry Insiders Live. It is the week after New York Comic Con. And we are, I personally am just running on adrenaline and caffeine. But thank you for joining us for our weekly look at what's going on inside of the comic book industry. And just kind of getting a feeling for it. I'm going to be really rambly this week, which is why I'm going to introduce my co-host. Shall we talk to Brian Garside, who is going to be well rested and aware.
Oh yeah. When I think of my name, I think well rested and aware. That's exactly what I always think. Those are the first two things that come to mind. How are you doing? You have you recovered at all?
Yesterday I spent most of the day asleep or watching TV, or occasionally like waking up in bursts of complete anxious anxiety, which is the worse than the regular kind. Texting my team, oh, we got to remember to do this, we got to remember to do this, but other than that, I did try and get a full day's rest, and I'm still almost there. Well, I might get there before this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. I have no confidence that's actually going to happen.
I ate turkey and celebrated my 24 years of marriage, which
4 years.
Yeah, I'm shocked every year. Like I'm just surprised that she sticks with me. I wouldn't, but
she is doing the Lord's work keeping you around. I mean,
isn't she? She really is.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's impressive. That's really impressive. Does she get a gold watch next year? Is that something?
I think so, or maybe like a silver something. I think maybe a big iPhone. I don't know. Actually, we've got about 4 friends who all got married around the same year, so we're thinking about doing like a big group trip to like Europe or something.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Wouldn't that be fun?
So, yeah, that's great. So we won't have you in New York Comic Con next year either. So what you're saying, as I'm hearing, that's fine.
Yeah, potentially we might not. Yeah, that would suck. Oh man,
can you move your anniversary?
What's that?
Can you move your anniversary?
We've considered it. Well, what's funny is like we went 2 years ago because together 3 years ago because it was our anniversary and our kids were old enough that they could like hang out at home, and we were like, hey, let's go to New York. So we did it, and then we should have gone back this year. We really should have. This was a good year.
If you are looking at us on the screen, if you're not catching this on the audio later, you'll notice in the little banner, it says enter #CTM, which stands for Comics the Magazine, into the chat at some point during this. And we're going to do a little spinning of the wheel and send out one of these Comic the Magazine number 0s. We gave these out at New York Comic Con. If you did not watch last week's episode, please do. We were able to talk pretty in depth with the team that we put together to build this, and about why we feel it's important and what we're doing to bring an excitement for comics to the masses, and I think that we've done them. It was a really fun show last week. I really enjoyed that one. Thanks for letting us talk about our big project. We're not yet talking about your big project, are we? Okay, fine. All right. It's getting close.
Propagating and servers.
Yes. Technology is its own problem. It really is. Yeah.
I will tease a little something that we can talk about, not probably this week, maybe next week, maybe the week after that, but I'm starting a new project called Project Sidekick that I'm pretty excited about. I haven't told you anything about it, but I will soon. But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Project Sidekick.
I do love a good code name.
Right?
Dirk Manning, in doing the humble brag of having the first signed copy of Comics the Magazine. He is the first one to ask us to sign it. So he's got it signed by me and Megan. Although, Dirk, I have to point out, you still don't have Joe and Rico. So unless you have them signing it first, it's not fully first signed.
That's true. You got to get the set.
Yeah, I know that Joe will be in Baltimore this weekend. So hopefully that'll be there. Also, you would need to get Gabe as well. So I don't know, man. It's a lot of work you still have to do, buddy. So let's talk about this week's show. You wanna?
Oh gosh, yeah. Let's get into this because this is a big. It's funny because in our group chat, you were like, I don't know if we've got enough to talk for an hour. And I'm like, I don't know if we can cut this to an hour, man. Like you're like, oh, there's barely anything. Are you serious right now? So we're going to talk about New York Comic Con. We're going to talk about the big news that came out. We're going to talk about the big crowd, and we're not going to talk about Redacted because it's still not ready, and I'm not ready to talk about it. But you know what? That could go up every week until we launch this thing.
So we're just going to keep it.
Love it.
We're just going to keep it here as the third thing in every show from now on. And at some point, we're going to slot it in. It's going to be a big deal.
You're just going to not see the Redacted anymore, and you're going to be, oh my gosh, I think I know what it is. Yeah.
Although
So
there is an ad for it in Comic the Magazine.
I know,
number
that's
0.
hilarious, right?
Yes.
Well, there is a placeholder for it, and it can actually do something in its interim. So yeah. Speaking of Comics the Magazine, we do have a website, comicsthemagazine.com. It's Comics the Magazine, the website. So go check that out.
Please
And
do.
you will find the socials and things like that on there. Actually, I've been a little distracted for the last 5 minutes because I was literally adding the socials to the bottom of the footer. So yeah, go check that thing out and go follow them on Instagram and Facebook.
They will tell you Comics the Magazine is coming to a shop near you in March of this year or next year. Boy, oh boy. I'm just gonna time means nothing.
Soon, dude.
Time means nothing, Brian.
Soon.
Soon. And then for the rest, and then for the first week of every month for the rest of your life. That's
yeah.
I've
heard a rumor that there could potentially be a sneak peek in February. Is there any truth to that rumor?
That is a rumor that I also have heard, completely unrelated. I would say that they have announced that Comics Pro is going to be in Glendale next year in February. And that if you're a someone who works in the comics industry, whether you're a retailer or not, whether you're a publisher or not, I cannot recommend enough this event. It is one of those sort of professional networking events in our calendar that just can't be missed anymore. It has 100% become a backbone of the beginning of the year of our sort of promotional cycle. So yeah, it would be a really good place if you were interested in anything that was comics related. Maybe Comics the Magazine related, it's absolutely, it is the best week of the year for comics professionals. It 100% is. And plus you get
it's my favorite week of the year. Yeah.
If you live anywhere where there's winter, you get to go to Glendale in February.
Oh my God. It was so good last year because I was like, February is when my seasonal affective disorder hits me the worst. And I'm always like just blue and depressed. And it was so like, oh man, stepping off the plane and having sun on my skin for the first, it was so heavenly. And then driving around and you and I trying to find a Shake Shack and good times. Good times.
Lunatic Comics, I'm gonna say, man, I would go anyway. Even if you're not a brick and mortar retailer, I would say just go and attend. You cannot join Comics Pro, but there are plenty of people there that are not Comics Pro members. I know there are creators there. There are people that are presenting. I would still try and figure out if you can make it in because it is absolutely worth it. All right. So to that end, let's talk about some news. You want to
hard-hitting headlines? Let's jump in.
Headlines. I love the alliteration. I love Blake is always good for alliterative slides. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, what's first up? Oh, dude, this was the big one.
Oh my gosh, wasn't this great news? Like it was so good. I was so happy.
Such a relief. Such a relief, and just the right people to take it on too. I mean, there are a couple of people I would have really trusted to handle this right, but Universal top of that list.
Yeah,
they have amazing people working there. I got a chance to see Tim Lanahan and Nance Romer for the first time in New York Comic Con since they took on that role at Universal. I got a chance to meet with them for a little bit, their team, and I, could not be more thrilled to see them coming into the market. It's just 100% that they are taking this on, and the fact that they were able to purchase Free Comic Book Day at no small expense. I don't know the exact number, but I did try and poke at them as to find out like how much it was, and it was big enough that their eyes all got real big. And if you know the people that were in that room, it's a lot of money. So
that's awesome.
So it was, I think they still have yet to talk about what the plans are. There's really no big reveal as to how they're going to curate this or what the 2027 plan is going to look like. I'm sure it's very different than the 2026 plan, but it will be the first week of May, I'm assured. And we are going to see a Free Comic Book Day. So
yeah, and I mean, Angelo is very, very in deep with a lot of the publishers. Like he was actually on the Instagram reel of James Gunn doing like Superman press and stuff. So he's back there. He's doing a lot of really good stuff. So yeah, it's super, super exciting. I think, like you said, it's in really good hands. Universal's got a really great operation, and they're getting better all the time. Like, I'm super excited about where this goes. I think they're going to be great stewards for it. And like Angelo's whole MO, the reason he wanted to get in on like the Alliance part is because he wants to introduce comics into game stores. 10,000 game stores, 2,500 comic stores. Just, it totally makes sense. And with the demographics we're going to talk about and things like that, you know, it's a massive, massive shift, and I'm so excited. I've never been this excited about comics.
I know. Well, and I think that was, if I'm looking for a tone that came out of New York Comic Con, it was just that. It was just sheer optimism. Everyone was just so ready to go. And we'll get into some of the reasons why later on in our deck, but like it was just I don't remember the last time I saw that many people in our industry, and then none of them had that look of fear, you know, that they were that this was all going to break up in the next, you know, few months.
Yeah,
it was really wonderful, and this was a big part of it too. Going into this weekend, with this news was just a master stroke. I'm so glad that it was able to be made. All right. Oh, speaking of New York Comic Con, so this is a question we answered, and I would love to hear from those of you in the chat who follow this. Our big question is: did DC win New York Comic Con? I mean, don't get me wrong; they are killing it in the sales. We are seeing so much that the comic shops are just taking off this year as a result of, in many ways, DC. I mean, Marvel kind of laid the groundwork with their Ultimate line and some of the work that they've been doing to, like, you know, kind of get more broader broadcast. But man, every time they do something, DC has been coming in and doing it just that much better, seemingly. You know, am I wrong about that?
No, I think you're absolutely right. Like I've looked at our DC numbers, and they're going up month over month to the point where I'm dreading one of the news stories that we're going to talk about a little bit later. Like,
oh yeah,
it is going to be a significant loss when that thing happens. And yeah, it's fascinating. It's really, really fascinating what's happening right now. Just looking at headlines, like every other headline was a DC headline this weekend.
And we didn't even get to the fact that Jim Lee did the keynote speech for Retailer Day, where he said no AI storytelling. That's just not going to be allowed in DC. I mean, what an industry leader taking a leadership position. We're going to talk about leadership too a little later in the show. But I thought that was just such a strong move for them all the way around. But it seemingly, as who was it who said, Tommy back here said that the Marvel panel looked like a previews catalog.
Yeah,
they were just talking about product, right? They weren't talking about the big news, the big moves that DC was. So let's get into some of them. I think it was really great.
Let's do it.
Let me do it. Yo, Vertigo.
Oh, yeah. This, holy mackerel. I'm going to see if I can pull up the story, because there was a story on the beat that had
the full list.
Pictures. Yeah. And like images and stuff. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, I can say that Vertigo, for those of you, I don't know, children in the room, Vertigo has been a big part of comics since what was it, the mid 90s, when they began this out of kind of DC's horror line of superhero books. They were able to give us this incredible line of stories that happened sort of inside of the DC universe, but just to the outside. And so we saw some of the biggest titles that came out of comics during that period happened because of the Vertigo line.
Like the entire British invasion was really the Vertigo.
Honestly, I mean, Sandman was incredible. I mean, my favorites, I can only remember my favorites right this second. Sandman being the number one. The Transmetropolitan came out of that period.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So many other books that were written by writers that we later found out to be problematic. But still did incredible work.
There were also non-problematic stories. There was
true,
you know, like
I'm tired.
things like Swamp Thing eventually moved over to Vertigo. Even Hellblazer, a lot of that stuff came out of there.
Oh, Hellblazer. Yeah.
It was such a good time for comics. But yeah, this is so exciting. And like, oh my god. So Denise Camp, I remember distinctly a couple of years ago talking to Django and Jeff and saying like, okay, this Denise Camp guy that's taking over, that's adding this Ultimates, like, who's this dude? And they were like, well, he's done a couple things, but yeah, it's kind of surprising. Holy mackerel, 2 years later. Like, this guy is the up and coming dude. So this is super exciting.
Oh, Preacher, Why the Last Man? Thank you, Jamie. This is
yeah,
100%.
Yeah. End of Life, which is by Kyle Starks and Steve Pugh. Kyle Starks is another real. He's just hitting that kind of interesting place that Preacher. What's his name? It starts with a G. Why is the word missing? Garth Ennis and those guys, like the kind of combination of horror and humor. Kyle Starks does a really, really good job with it. Brutal Dark by Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. James Tynion IV is bringing a new Nice House over to Vertigo.
I've heard of him.
He's pretty good. Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy by Ram V and Mike Perkins. This Ram V guy, he might be going somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We might.
100 Bullets is back with Brian Azzarello and Ed Rizzo. And man, like, Rizzo's art has just evolved so much in the last 10 years that this will be super fun to watch. This one looks fun. Tom Taylor and Derek Robertson, Necretaceous. So it's like zombies and dinosaurs and time travel. Grace Ellis and Hannah Templar. It all looks so good. Like, and Cy Spurrier, another name that's just like, this guy is really, really taking over, especially things with a horror bent. This is just so exciting and so like full of energy. And it goes back to the thing that I was talking about a couple of weeks ago. What makes me really excited is like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on this until we talk about a certain panel, because this plays into that very, very heavily.
Yeah.
So it's super exciting.
I love seeing them do this, but I also love that. Dirk, man, I think that when that they're feeling optimistic, that you're feeling like they can start experimenting again, because that's just it. Is that Vertigo was always the place that they were experimenting, and you don't usually experiment from a place of loss, right?
Yeah.
You experiment from a place of growth, and the fact that they see that is going to be it. 100%, Gabe.
Much so. Yeah.
We forgot to mention the giant DC booth that was in the back of the convention center. I had some people say, what do you think about it being in the back of the convention center? And I said, well, you put milk in the back of the grocery store. That's how you get 100%. Everybody to go past everything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if that's the case, but Gabe would know better than I if that was how it actually worked out, but who knows? But yeah, I would say, so much strength came out of DC this week. And I think they're just going to continue to grow. They also, let's bring up the rest of that deck. We also talked about the KO.
Holy moly. This thing's huge. It's just doing it. I'd love to hear from other retailers what they're seeing. This is going to have a massive long tail, and it's like, it's crossing over with so much other DC stuff, but it's not like disruptive like Night Terrors and Convergence and all those were. This is additive, where I'm seeing just like super interest in everything that's coming out around this thing. And then on top of that, do we have a slide for the crazy things they announced?
We have a slide for one of the big crossovers that they announced.
Yeah.
But the thing that I love most about this, before we get into it, is the fact that this comes from a place of promoting the industry, right? It's not just insulating and promoting the DC of it all. This is about let's now that we're in a position of leadership, man, there's that word again. I think we're going to get back to that. Now that we're in that position, let's use this as an opportunity to just rise all the ships, right? Like this is just so strong, so strong.
And you know what? I'm going to save this as well because this isn't new for DC, right? Like what's happening now, and the thing that we're going to talk about with this is really a culmination of a bunch of different stuff that they've been doing for the last little while, and it really doesn't surprise me. So when it came out, I was like, I texted to my son, I was like, "Holy crap!" And he was like, "Yeah, no, that totally makes sense." And then he told me why, and I'll say why in a minute.
Oh, good. Well, let's get into that one. Is that next?
Selling decently for the first week. Haven't had a bunch of people excited yet. Yeah, but there's buzz going around. I think that this is going to do really, really well. I'm seeing. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, the Batman relaunch is. Yeah, we're up like 20 copies over the last issue of Batman. So yeah, it's great.
Once again, I think this shows that a title that had Chip Zdarsky involved, he sets you up for success.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
You know, so that you're succeeding well more than when Chip was involved.
Absolutely.
I think that's just once more we all have to thank Chip.
He just gives so much, you know. He just gives.
He's a giver.
He's just constantly. He's a giver.
That, by the way, was a reference to Comics the Magazine, which is coming out in March. You can get the 0 issue if you enter CTM into the chat for the giveaway.
We got a solo on you when you do that. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
You gotta give us some warning. Oh goodness. So yeah, let's get to our next slide.
This one, I could not be more excited about this one. I mean,
yeah, and this feels like it's all coming out of the DCKO. So one of the slides that they showed at DCKO was Vampirella, Homelander, Samantha Strong from Beneath the Trees.
Yeah,
all these different characters from different things. Now, so my son was saying to me, like they've been doing this stuff for a while with DC Multiversus, which is an online game that they have recently shut down for some reason.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah. It had like crossovers with Steven Universe, Gremlins, you know, all kinds of different Warner Brothers properties. And then some stuff that wasn't Warner Brothers, which is really interesting. DC's also been doing this with Turtles versus Batman and with Godzilla versus the Justice League and Kong and Godzilla versus, like, so they've been dipping their toes in this kind of cross company crossover stuff for a while, even before the whole Marvel of it all. And love Smash Brothers. Try DCKO. Sub-Zero, that's right. Sub-Zero's in it too. It was great.
That's right. Oh man, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be, once again. You remember you quoted me more than once when they announced the DC Marvel crossover in the at Comics Pro, and I turned to you and said, "We're gonna make so much fucking money.
Make so much money. So much money.
This is it. This is exactly how you build on that.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
We are going to continue this growth cycle, and I cannot wait to see what they're able to do with it.
Comics is learning from wrestling, and I'm here for it. You know, I love on DCKO. There was actually a wrestling specific cover on one of the variant covers, which I love, like, because Warner Brothers airs AEW Dynamite, and so they're actually doing quite a bit of inner promotional stuff, and I just love that because you know, wrestling fans tend to be comics fan, and comics fans more than likely, you know, dip a toe into watching semi-naked superheroes slug it out on in a four corner ring. Yeah,
we love spandex and fighting. That's for sure.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. Yeah. So this is all so exciting. I think DC's on fire right now,
and I'm looking forward. Cannot wait to see what they do with that. All right. I think that's it for the hard hitting headlines. We are going to get some deeper into some of the things we talked about. If you are interested in headlines like this, and you are interested in the kind of work that we do at Prana Direct Market Solutions or anything like that, this is where we go to the next slide, which is the Prana Bullets. This is a weekly newsletter that we put out in to our mailing list. It's absolutely free. It's not a Substack. It's not something you have to register for. All you got to do is go in and give us your name and email, and we'll make sure that you get the very next one. These are we do this for insiders, right? We do this for the people who make a living in comics and want to know really what is the bullet at the end of the week, the things I need to know, what did I miss in order to do my job next week. And so we want to make sure that this is what you need. So please go ahead and sign up, pranadm.com, and hit the subscribe button, and we'll get you the very next one. I had a really interesting event happen to me this time around, Brian. And Dirk, who is in the chat, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because this came up as a result of an event that you and I were invited to.
Yeah.
We've been working at Prana DM. We've been working with VFriends, which is the comic book, trading cards, toys. I mean, I'll be honest, this whole thing started with NFTs. Like, they legitimately have done everything they can with the VFriends brand, and they are really going into Dirk. I too am still reeling from this dinner that I'm about to tell you about. They've been going heavily into the comics industry. They had a booth there last year, but they had an even bigger booth at New York Comic Con this year. They were at Retailer Day talking about VFriends. This is the product of Gary Vaynerchuk, who is a big leader in the marketing world. His company, VaynerMedia, did 3 of the last Super Bowl ads. They are a massive, massive brand, and he has had a ton of best-selling books in, like, say, business and marketing and that sort of thing.
Yep. He's very much also a leader in, like, social media marketing, and has been doing it as long as social media has existed. So if you are interested in that stuff, you know who Gary V is. If you're not interested in it, you probably should, because he is, like, to Seth Godin's, like, Seth Godin was very much the king of kind of guerrilla marketing and that kind of stuff back in the day. Gary V, to me, is like the modern Seth Godin. And if he's saying things, he's not as demure and, like, kind of, soft spoken as
he's a hype man.
Seth is. Oh my God, he's as New York as it gets, right? And, like, so if that grates on you, that's not going to be awesome. But he I love him. I think he's I've been massively influenced by him over the years.
I've talked to a number of people who are either fans of his or, definitely not fans of his. And I will say that I say the guy's name and it's a bit like I either said Brad Pitt or no recognition at all.
The devil himself. Oh yeah.
Exactly. But anyway, I say all of this to say, we got invited to an event. There was a party at a private restaurant that Gary's involved in. We were able to invite really wonderful people. Someday I may tell the whole story, but I don't want to get too bogged down in it, and it will sound a little too name droppy, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. What I do want to talk about, though, is we were at a dinner. Dirk and I both were at this dinner, and there were plenty of industry leaders in this dinner, including myself and Dirk, and Christina Merkler was there. Rob Liefeld, most notably, was there. And Gary was leading this conversation. And over the course of the conversation, Rob asked the question of, where are the leaders? Where are the leaders of the comics industry today?
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that question ever since. And honestly, it wasn't until we just started this podcast, we started talking about DC, that I realized they definitely are taking on some of this role, right? But in the past, we've had the entire run of the Image founding crew. They were very much in leadership position in our industry. We had people like Steve Jeppy, very much in the leadership position. Even at the other publishers, you had people that were in a publishing position. Paul Levitz obviously was very much so. I would say even Bob Wayne in his place, and even other salespeople like oh gosh, I can't remember her name right now, at Marvel in the past. Anyway, all of this to say,
Joe Quesada, Dan DiDio, hate them or love them, they were huge leaders, and they made massive swings at things that both succeeded and failed.
I will say that I went to a different party, and I got to spend some time with Bill Jemis, who I did a little bit of work for a few years ago. He was definitely a leader in our industry during 100%. That period. Carol Kalish, thank you, Joe. I was trying to remember Carol Kalish's name. Joe Keating bailing me out once again. Anyway, all of this to say, this question has haunted me ever since. And I would like to think that, Brian, you and I are trying to do our best to kind of present and give and support our industry. And I hope that that's what those leaders are doing. You know, I would never go so far as to count either of us as a leader in this industry now. But I will say that my goal is to say, who are they? And how do we support them? How do we encourage them? How do we use their position to grow? And yes, absolutely. I think that moment, Heidi, where he stepped up and said what he did about AI and said what he did about the comics industry and about the retailers. I mean, he was very honest about it. I think that's absolutely was one of those indicators that we do have a new crop of leaders that are coming up.
Yep.
Yes, Christina, absolutely. Christina from Lunar, Angelo from Universal. I think these people are in positions to kind of lead us to a place where this industry is stronger. And I for one, want to promise our resources as a company, as Prana, and as a channel to those leaders. So, I mean, I'll just say this just openly. Any of you ever need a platform, you have our sword, and
100%.
And his bow.
And my axe. It's funny because I don't want to toot my own horn, but the David Harper article, most interesting people in comics right now. Like,
how did we not become this? Why did not? We had a slide. Oh,
half the people you mentioned are on this list. Like, it's there's a whole new group that is coming up and kind of leading things.
Yeah. Who is that? Can you bring that up? Because I'd love to see. I still haven't had a chance to look at that. I would love to look at that list.
By the way, this is my regular plug for David Harper's Sketched. And if you're not paying the $8 a month, and I think it's like $60 a year, it's the best $60 a year I spend. Like, just go do it. So yeah, it was the most interesting people in comics right now. And he had said that he was only allowed to make 6 picks, not 5, not 10. And he wasn't allowed to use previous people, which is why Christina is not on there. James Tinian. Okay. Yeah, like all those people are huge leaders in the industry. Steve Anderson, my goodness.
Oh my God, Steve Anderson.
The stuff he's doing.
If you're not following Steve Anderson, everything that Third Eye is doing, if you're in comics retail.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're not on their mailing list, even as a retailer, you need to get on their mailing list because it's a masterclass in what you should be sending every week. So yeah, Chris Conroy, the Vertigo fella.
Yeah.
Angelo, of course, from Universal, right up there. Daniel Warren Johnson, who revitalized Transformers in a way that we haven't seen in the whole Energon universe. Webtoon, Junko Kim, the founder and chief executive officer of Webtoon. Webtoon is killing it right now. Square Enix, Morgan Perry. Morgan's such a great advocate for the industry, and I love everything they do. So yeah. And then look at that. These 3 fellas.
Oh, hey.
Django Boren, Jeff Figley, and me, Brian Garside.
Hey.
But in all these cases, these are people that aren't just trying to do something for their own respective companies. They're trying to do things for the industry. Angelo's working on things like Free Comic Book Day that definitely will benefit his company, but largely also benefits the industry. Django and I with Comet, that thing is for the industry. So yeah, I think it's a great time right now to be in this industry and doing that stuff. Oh, hi, Mom. Yeah, there was a lot of
building what's next.
A lot of mom stuff that went around on Friday when that got shared out.
Well, congratulations. And what the fuck, David? What the fuck, man?
Maybe just not this year.
You
You didn't have Comics the Magazine out last year.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. It's next year. Maybe I can make next year's list.
It just means I won't be able to get on it as Comics the Magazine's webmaster next year, which is very tragic.
All right. No, what do we call you? Director of Digital? I think that's
I love it.
That's right. The webmaster. Is that what you want to be? Well, no, all right. There you
that's
go.
The old
you
school
heard it,
title,
Joe.
right? That was the best.
That's right. The webmaster. One of my favorite pieces, and this came out of, I believe it's Django who's in the chat, comic shop assistant, came out of a conversation that he and I had. We're trying to put together some health metrics around the industry. And so he was able to put together a cohort, a nice broad section of retailers that we were able to report on. And am I breaking up? Is my internet
just a little? Yeah, you're just kind of you're still good, but my
audio is good. All right, good.
Yeah, your audio is great, but your picture just keeps on kind of staticking on us for a little bit.
If I keep jumping around, it won't know where I am.
That's right.
Anyway. And one of the things that I loved most about the data that he and I have been talking about what this should look like and what it was going to be, and he was able to show me some of this data for the first time, and that's why I'm going to do this big reveal of. Is it going up? Comics retailers up 18%.
Yeah.
From 2024. 18%. That's on average. That's a very large cohort average. And it is what that means is that for some, they're probably only going to be up 2 or 3%, but some are going to be up 30, 40. I've talked to retailers that have been around for 40 plus years who had legitimately a 40% increase over last year. The idea that you can do that in year 40, 45, whatever it was they were, like, that's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling to me that we can start seeing that we see that growth from people that should be mature and should be very well established. It's remarkable.
But that, I think, speaks to some.
Man, we talked a lot about the growth
things that are going on in the market, and one of the things I don't know if we have this on our deck or not, but Milton did his ICV2 white paper on, I think it was Thursday. And one of the things he talked about was the ungraying of the comics audience. And that's the thing that we've kind of banged a drum about here, right? Like retailers interviews also indicate Gen Z has arrived in comic shops in record numbers, reversing another long time trend. The comics audience gets younger. And this is vital for any industry, right? And so the fact that it's happening here, that they're buying Absolute, they're buying Ultimate, they're graduating from their manga and Dogman, the fact that the compact editions are the right form factor for them. I had shared in our chat earlier today that we've sold 20 DC New Frontier. Now, half of that is because my son loves that book and will just like foist it on anybody that looks at it. But the other half of it is like 2 of them were subscribers and everybody else was somebody younger, which was amazing. Like I was so excited.
What also got me super excited, 2 things. One, Milton talked about listening to that panel. I've never seen Milton Greep, the guy who does that white paper. He legitimately is curmudgeon is probably a too strong a word, but he's a real, it's real hard to get him super excited. He was just floating listening to the reports they were saying about some of the people coming in. I also just got a text from Django who wanted me to note that it was floppies were up 27% on that report.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's so great.
I mean, and what that says to me is new people coming in and setting up subscriptions, new people getting used to the idea of coming into the comic shop once a week. Oh man, it's such a good time to do what we're doing. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, no, really. It's the most exciting that I think I can remember.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. All right. Well, speaking of exciting, it is time.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, dude.
Like you just touched ground. You must
problem
be
is
you're a
Baltimore,
tired
like
little guy.
Baltimore is such it's such a fun show because everybody, I have so many friends there and we tend to go out every night and whatever. And I'm scared, Brian. I'm scared.
Yeah. Hey, I have to ask you, did you guys end up with any 5 a.m. nights?
The one in Gary Vaynerchuk's party, that one ended up to like, I don't know, 2 or so, but that was really it for me. I couldn't do.
Yeah, like I'm starting to think I might be the problem. Because 5 a.m. nights seem to follow me, and I'm starting to realize that when I'm not there, they don't follow other people. Oh no, Kyle! I assure you, there's been a number of New York nights that are 5 a.m. too.
My first New York Comic Con, I got invited out to a birthday party at a Brooklyn bar. And I remember somebody saying, we should just shut this place down. I'm like, yeah, we should. And so we just kept drinking. We're having a good time. And I went, finally, they said, all right, you ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. We went out, it was daylight.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you people? Why do you not send us home at 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
Anyway.
The one night last year that we were out, and I remember as we were walking back to our hotel, it was the sun was coming over the horizon. And I was like, I think we have to be somewhere in 2 hours. Oh crap. Yeah. It might be me. It might be me.
Yeah, it could be you. I'm glad you're not going to be in Baltimore because it is coming in hot. It is coming in hot.
Yeah.
I can tell you, Prana, this is going to be our first booth at any show. We're going to be setting up in 1610. I think that's the next slide. We can talk about that.
Yeah, I saw that's historically a great convention for art and retailers.
Yes. Let's actually deal with that first before we get into the Prana of it all. So I want to say why Baltimore is important. I know that it's weirdly scheduled this time of year. And if anybody ever really wants to get into the gossip of it all, there's a lot of conversation about the relationship between Baltimore, the leadership of Baltimore, and the leadership of New York Comic Con. That's an interesting dynamic, something for the book, when I retire. But it does come in right after. But so why is it important though? One, it is I would say if it's not second best, it's one of the 2 best conventions for Artists Alley and for original art, because these are really long-standing shows. The other one being Heroes in Charlotte, South Carolina. Did I get that right? Is it Charlotte?
North Carolina, isn't it? Yeah, it is in Charlotte. It's in one of the Charlottes.
Charlotte. Whatever. It's in Charlotte. Heroes, which is run by Heroes Are Hard to Find, Sheldon Drum. Is an incredible show because it's just really about bringing in creators. And I would say that Baltimore does the same kind of thing. It brings in these old school creators and new who are excited about the industry and are bringing a new voice to it. And so the Artist Alley ends up being this super vibrant, like dynamic place where you you're going to discover something new and somebody new. And there's just tons of original art. But also, unlike Heroes, I would say, and Heroes is great. This guy always call me when we're in the middle of a show. Hold on a second. Unlike Heroes, which is absolutely wonderful, it really does have this really great retailer vibe, right? So we'll see, you'll see some incredible retailers there with really great back issue selections and deep dollar bins. And as a result of that, you end up with really interesting publishers who show up. So I will say it's one of my favorite shows. I do not miss it unless I absolutely cannot go. And this year, I'm really excited to be even that much more involved. But you're not going. So
no, I know. Yeah, October's a mess, dude. It's always a mess for me. It's tough.
One of my favorite reasons for it is also there's an award show. Okay, too many buttons. too many button pushers, rather. There is the Ringo Awards, which is took the place of the Harvey Awards here at this show. And boy, is there a story about how that happened. But the convention, it is an awards show that centered around Mike Wieringo and his love of comics. It is a wonderful, like, comics as a family vibe at this awards show. Like, it's such a good time. It's just you know, I mean, aside from the rubbery chicken and the crab cakes, it's just the people you're going to sit and chat with are some of my favorites. I personally met Taylor Esposito there one year, and we've worked with Taylor over and over again ever since. So yes, and the Ringo goodie bags, you get a huge goodie bag at your table.
Wow.
They are absolutely legendary. There may or may not be a particular magazine in that this year, depending on whether you're able to do it.
I gotta go to this thing. Dang it. Like 24 years of marriage is a good run, right? I can just, I tap it out now.
She's pot.
I'm sure that won't cost me much either. It's fine. It's fine.
Also, if you're gonna go for the after hours, one of the things I love most about Baltimore is that you can still kind of do what we used to refer to as BarCon, right? The smaller conventions, you used to be able to go to whatever the bar was right next to the hotel that it was in. I mean, the hotel it was right next to was always going to be, a place that you could see people. But that has, as comics conventions have gotten more and more popular, those have just become less and less fun.
Yeah.
The BarCon at Baltimore is still fun, right?
Yeah.
You can still go and see some really favorite people that are, just like in the crowd. It's going to be fantastic. I love this show. So I want to get into the prana of it all.
It's so gorgeous.
This is our, I'm looking at this picture that we stole from, I think we stole it from your your Instagram there, Dirk. I'm looking at this picture and I'm thinking, Megan was right. We need a steamer. So I'm saying that out loud. There you go. Put it on there.
We need a steamer.
We do need a steamer. Look, it's a little wrinkly. We are going to have a number of things happening in our booth, including a way to get Comics the Magazine for free. But one of my favorite things, and all of this will be in an announcement later today. We're going to get it. Yeah. Okay. We don't need it on the screen. One of my favorite things we're going to have is our first merch, a premiere.
No, you did it.
Yeah, we
did
it.
You did it.
I am so excited about I don't even have any right here. I was going to show you my hands.
We talked about this.
Isn't this great?
This is amazing.
We went through and found our favorite episodes, or 6 of our favorite episodes, because we didn't cover Brian just yet. 6 of our favorite episodes of people inside of the comics industry and people we've spoken to on Comic Industry Insiders, which is our podcast. I don't think we've mentioned it on this broadcast yet. We're going to be doing doing this as an ongoing program, I think, depending on how well people love it. But essentially, it's 6 different people who are insiders for the comics industry. And we're at the back of each of them, we're giving a quote of one of the things that we got from their interview that essentially allowed, that we learned from and that we want to bring to you. So there was this trading card set that had like the big creators back in the 90s. I've always loved that thing. And I've always wanted to do my own set. It's time. Yeah. Thank you, Django or Jeff, whoever is manning that particular account.
This is
yes.
awesome.
Our first ones you can see are Steve Anderson from Third Eye, Gamal Hennessy, who is the contract lawyer to the comics industry in many cases. We have him on retainer. Thank you very much. Jack DeMaio from Whatnot. His episode was fantastic.
Yeah.
Christine, Judy, I can't read this and I'm having a hard time remembering Judy's last name. Judy Kelichek from Bink, who's, I swear to God, if you listen to that Bink episode and Judy doesn't make you well up, you've got, I don't know what you've got for a heart, but it sure isn't.
She's one of the kindest human beings I've ever met. She's such a good person.
every time I see her, I'm just so full of warmth because the work she's doing for comics retailers specifically, she's just wonderful. Christina Merkler, who is just the powerhouse, one of those leaders we were talking about, and Sam Cusick, who is currently at a Whatnot and not Whatnot,
Kickstarter.
Get the wrong, not Whatnot, Kickstarter. Whew, boy. Anyway, these 6 leaders in our industry are going to be on these cards. We're going to be selling them at the booth. I know this is a really, this is just a really niche of a niche of a niche of a niche. There are people who are going to want these, but I know that I would want them. So please come by and pick them up. And if they do well, we'll be able to continue to make these going forward. This is going to be fun.
That's super awesome.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I can't believe there's no Comic Industry Insiders host cards. So I'm a little sad.
Well, I had
chase cards, and you should.
I had to talk to them about putting my face on one. So we'll see. We'll get there. Yeah, here we go, Ray. Here we go. Just listen to the Gamal episode last week. Yeah. So Gamal is one of those people behind the scenes, has been at it for a while, and it is going to be he's going to be the thing. Oh, we should do this next week. I'll give out a set. We'll do the giveaway for this next
genius.
week.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, Comic Industry Insiders trading cards. Please come by the booth. And Brian, we got to put this up on our website. We'll have these for sale soon.
Yeah, for sure. We can do that. I have the technology.
Yeah, I figured you could do that. I did want to take a quick moment just to talk through. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this because strangely we did fill a full hour. We also will have
had questions that we'd fill a full hour. I'm halfway done my questions for the week. So
okay, hang on. Let me power through this. Comics, the magazine is going to be a magazine that goes into comic shops starting in March. It's going to be designed to be selling comics to consumers. It's going to be signed fans, making new fans, teaching all those brand new 15 to 25-year-olds how comics works and what's behind the scenes, showing them the love that we have of comics and what it is that they need to pick up. This is going to be our love letter to the comics industry and just an entry point into how comics are made for those of you who are just now getting involved. And we're so excited about this magazine. I cannot even tell you. It's been definitely a work of love, and getting to show it off at Baltimore this week in booth 1610 is going to be really fun. By the way, if you're here and you're running a business in comics, maybe you want to run an ad. Maybe you want to talk to Gabe Yoakum about placing that ad. We'd love to start lining you up because we are starting to look like we are going to run out of room in the first one. So we should
get off this slide right quick if we could, because we don't need to be giving these clowns any more public promotion than we need to.
Which clowns?
Well, the slide that you had their ad on it. It was me as a person.
Yes,
but this page is great. This is
a great page.
No notes.
There's a secret one right here on the upper left. We should be talking about. I don't even remember what that slide was. I kind of want to go back and look at it now. All right. Anyway,
you can look at it.
What is it you do again?
Oh man, so I run this little thing called Managed Comics, and we are I'm trying to find a good name for it because everybody always says the POS systems, and we are decidedly not a POS system. We're the part that actually talks to point of sale systems. So we have an application called Managed Comics, which is available for Shopify. We also have a standalone version which works with RMH, RMS, Lightspeed. It will soon work with Clover, Square, and other products. So if any of those things sound interesting to you, and you want to make more money from comics, which we've just said is sitting there on the table, then you need to talk to Managed Comics. Our new website will be going live, I think, tomorrow. We're just adding a half dozen blog posts that we want to keep around from the old one. And that's like, I don't know if you know this, Adam, but I like to make websites. I do it a lot.
I heard
I
that.
don't know that I actually like it, but I do it a lot. So yeah.
There's a handful of us that can guilt you into doing it on a regular.
Oh my gosh, so often. Yeah, there's like at least 3
basis.
people on this
Yeah.
right now who have guilted me into making a website for them in the last 2 months. Not even guilt. It's just like, hey, do you want to make a website? Sure. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. I want to make sure that we get it all. This is the end of our plugs, so that we can get rid of this. Yeah, go to the Prana Bullet. Go to pranadm.com, another site that he built. And let's make sure that we get you up on the newsletter. All right. We have 4 minutes. Brian, you said you had questions. I want to make sure that we have a chance to answer them all. And if anybody else has any questions, we actually have rare that we have 3 extra. I told you we didn't have enough to fill an hour.
Oh,
we have 4 extra.
Yeah, that's because we went over all the things.
The giveaway takes a minute, guys.
Okay, oh shit, the giveaway. Let's go. Let's do the giveaway.
You begged me to make it. Yeah, let's do it. We got 10 entries.
Push the button. Here we go.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
This is so exciting.
Who's gonna be?
We should always do this.
I see at least one person who's already reached to me.
Space Case Collectibles.
There you go.
All right. Kyle, how do we get their information? Huh?
I will put a link here in the comments that Space Case should fill out, and that will get their information to you.
Great.
Perfect.
Awesome. We'll get that out to you probably next week is my guess, right after our we all meet up in Baltimore because we all live in different places. And so I am really lousy about putting things in the envelopes. Awesome. All right. Any question? We have 3 minutes.
The Harvey Awards.
Yes.
We didn't talk at all about John Byrne, Peter David being named to the Hall of Fame. There was also Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees was named Book of the Year, which yes, that was the Book of the Year.
It really was.
Mackerel, that thing sold so much.
And it was good.
Cartoonist. It was great. It was amazing. And I don't know if you're reading the sequel right now, but I don't know why, but I didn't feel like the main character was a bad entity last time, but now they're terrible and I hate them.
Yes.
Cartoonist Club.
This is an excellent point. We almost did a slide around this. The Comics Pro open house is next week, and there's going to be an entire hour at the end of one day that is centered around how to keep your comic shop cyber safe. So we've partnered with our friends at Recca Comics. We're going to do one of their online classes that they do for cybersecurity professionals all the time. We're doing it specifically for comic shops, and it's going to be good. It's going to be plenty of time for Q&A. You're going to be able to learn what you need in order to keep your company safe from hackers, because they do want your data and your money. So please do log in. Also, Dirk Manning, yes, you're absolutely right. Prana client SourcePoint Press has Homestead nominated for Best OGN of the year at the Ringo. So looking forward to seeing that. They're well-deserved attention. Yeah.
On Thursday, the 23rd, at the Comics Pro Open House, there's a point of sale discussion with us, Comic Shop Assistant, Comic Hub, Comic Knowledge. The kitchen sink will probably be there. Like it's going to be pretty busy. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern time till 5 p.m., we're doing a metadata talk with Katie Pride's going to moderate it. Django, myself. I think Jeff's there. We've got like 6 other people that are going to be there. So that, it is open. The Comics Pro Open House is open to everyone, like not just retailers. You can go to it just by signing up at comicspro.com. So make sure you get into this thing if you're interested in this stuff, and you don't have to be a Comics Pro member. That's the whole point of it, is to introduce you to this stuff. And Lunatech, sign up even though you're an online store, because
Please.
as an online store, I am trying to encourage them that we are not the pariahs that they treat us as sometimes. And we all have goals and ambitions, and we need that organization. So
we really do.
Sign up.
We need for it to be strong, and I think you guys make it even stronger. So I think
100%.
The days when we were forming Comics Pro, and I say we because I was involved in that conversation. I was a year one member. The days when we were forming that conversation, that organization, and we were leaving online stores out, I will say it was a completely different dynamic than it is today.
100%, yeah.
And the brick and mortar stores of tomorrow are online stores today.
Yeah.
So you really need to include them before that happens, I believe. But yeah, I'm all for it. Dude, we filled more than an hour. We're going over. All right.
I called it. Where's the Brian was right?
Oh my God. You know what? I can only do one of those in a day.
Christina Strong just arriving now.
Christina,
it's okay. Watch the recap. It'll be great.
Right. Once again, this is Brian Garside of what do you do? Managed Comics.
North IQ. I don't know. I got like a dozen. Earth 519, which is where I'm going in about 5 minutes. Yeah, so many businesses.
And I am Adam Freeman, spelled ATOM exclamation point, of Prana Direct Market Solutions, Prana Publishers. I was told I need to start saying that more. And now Comics the Magazine. Jeez, once again, thanking you all for what you do. You are the reason we get to do what we do. The fact that you show up at the comic shops, whether you work there or not, the fact that you make comics, the fact that you sell them, the fact that you market them, the fact that you work on metadata or printing. Anyway, we always want to end this by saying thank you to you, because Brian and I suck at pretty much everything else. Oh, well, I do anyway.
Well, I'm pretty good at making websites, so maybe that would be my next. Make websites.
I'll see you in Baltimore if you're not Canadian. Namaste, y'all.
Namaste.